Like coming back here?
I do.
Different role here this time around?
Yeah, it's always nice to come to Vancouver, especially when the weather is nice. I never get sick of the view of looking at the North Shore Mountains, especially as you're coming into town. And we had obviously a real clear day yesterday, and it's a great place to live. It's a great place to work. I do like coming back here for sure.
Looked like your practice was pretty crisp and sharp here this morning.
Well, I think.
Or am I wrong there?
No, I thought it was pretty good. Our guys are obviously having some fun right now, and fun is a funny way to really put things. But the fact that their energy is where it is what everybody's seeing. They're putting in effort, and they're doing the right things, and we've had a couple of decent games where we've gotten those results, and everything kind of works together like that. Again, we want to keep developing the habits that will make our team a team that can play a 200-foot game. We've seen really good efforts in terms of how we've supported the puck on the forecheck, how we've supported on the back check, how we've supported in the D zone. And for the last game, it was the first time that we really saw some results from us with our creativity and support in the offensive zone. So those are things that we want to continue to keep building, and have guys feel good about their contributions and how we're playing.
You've been back behind the head coach for 3 weeks now. Do you feel more at ease behind the bench now?
Yeah, it's good. The game moves fast. I think bigger differences now are NHL referees are very much like NHL players now. They've grown up. They've not been yelled at, and so you're going to change. I've certainly had to change that part of the game. Used to be a lot of banter back and forth, and guys would give it back to you as hard as you'd give it to them. I can't say I really miss that, because I think I probably lost my marbles a little bit too much in that regard during my career. And if you're not sure, just go on YouTube and see me. But other than that, the players have been really responsive, and they've been the story. They've done a really good job of trying again to capture something out of this last part of the year. We're bound to the last 10 games now, and we have to continue to keep trying to get improvements from our individual players. Guys are playing in a lot of cases for contracts for next year. This is an organization that needs people, that needs bodies, and there are a lot of guys in our lineup whose contracts are up. And it's nice that they're getting great opportunity to show themselves. And in a lot of cases, they've showed themselves really well.
When you came back from Switzerland, the goal, I guess, was to get back to being a head coach. Do you enjoy it more being a head coach than you did an assistant last year?
I have it a lot more in perspective, I think, right now. Again, I love coming back and being back in the NHL first and foremost. Best league in the world. You're against the best, the best people. You're coaching the best players, and that part has always been terrific. Since I've taken over the head duties, it's just been, it's been a situation where we've tried to just subtly change a few things, and it has been more about atmosphere and the atmosphere around the guys. There's been pretty good buy-in in that regard, and it's the players that are doing it. Ultimately, we talked a lot about what they wanted from the year, and that's ultimately what we're getting now. You're seeing that they're taking ownership a little bit more of things, and we're far from perfect. We're far from where this club will need to be back at the lofty heights of those teams that they saw at in the middle 2000s, and how good a team we were in 2016. We're far away from that, but we've played better of late, and again, I think the guys are taking ownership of everything, and that's been good.
The teams you coach here in Vancouver, pretty good. Not,
Yeah.
No situation like you're in right now, I guess.
Well, the first year maybe. The first year the first full year that we were here was it was a team that we had some good young talent, and that was the year that the Sedins were drafted, but they played in Switzerland. So you knew that the next year you were going to have two big pieces coming into your lineup. But that year it was a lot of good young players that really stepped up. We made a trade late in the season for Brendan Morrison. That was huge because he became such a big part of the line with Naslund and Bertuzzi, who were young players that were really emerging. And we had young forwards like Matt Cook, Harold Druken, Peter Schaefer, a lot of guys, Artem Chubarov. They were all good young players that were coming into their own. And again, the stars were going to be the guys on defense, Jovanovski, Olin, those types of people really were emerging. And so our team is, I don't think it's quite at that stage yet, but I could say next year, you'd be definitely looking for another step from Thomas. You'd be looking for another step in the forward positions from White and from Tkachuk and all these other kids that are coming in and are going to be playing their first full years in the NHL. So, it's an exciting group right now for us, and we are developing a core of guys that should be a pretty good nucleus to build around. And right now we're just trying to make sure that they keep progressing and they keep doing the right things. And we're getting that now. You really see even Verno coming in. He's played 2 exceptional games. Willanen's played really well here of late. Balsers is looking like he's going to be a sure NHLer. And those are the things that I'm sure our organization is banking on.
Obviously, interest here in Anders Nielsen from afar. He's been having success. What's been his key from your perspective?
I think the work that he's done with Pierre Giroux has been really good. Pierre is sometimes, a goalie coach and a player, their personalities, if they match, in my experience, that ends up being a strong contributing factor. And he's played some great games in his NHL career, and even talking to the Vancouver coaches when we got him, they're all saying the same things. They're saying he's got the ability to win a game outright, and we've seen him do that. I mean, he basically did that against St. Louis 2 games ago. So, but his game is growing and it's continuing to develop. I think he wants to eliminate the bad goal from his game, as most younger goaltenders or developing goaltenders do. And again, the work that he's been doing with Pierre Giroux has been really encouraging to see. And again, I think when you get traded, I mean, I've never traded, I was just cut. But when you get traded, I think you really do look at yourself and you say, okay, what do I have to do? And maybe timing is right. So the combination of him looking at himself, say, what do I got to change? What do I have to do? And then Pierre Giroux being a very, very similar type character.
Starting
I haven't decided who's going to play tomorrow. They're both going to play the next 2 games, so we're going to decide probably later today about who's going to play.